Well, I made it. I spent about 2 hours in hell today. I almost tried to turn around and go home. The traffic was unbelievably bad. So I figured, you know what, from west, not at West, what's that town? About a mile past Claysville. I could have turned around, but I was afraid if you go through the middle of the road there, you get a policeman to stop you. You're not supposed to do that. It was backed up. So I said, you know what? I'm only a few miles away from West Alexander. I'll go on 40. As soon as I made the turn, a right and then a left, and I'm on 40, it's bumper to bumper, trucks. And when it was a straightaway, I counted. There was like 16 trucks in front of me. So I guess, they didn't want to go beat. I don't know what they're doing. For a couple of weeks, 70 was nice and cool, and man, zipping right through. Maybe there was an accident. So I called Lola. I don't know what time I called her and said I'd be a little bit late. But, we always have something on the air for you. And I'm Bill DeFabio. Across the way is Lola. She was very patient. She knew I would do my damnedest to get here. So I canceled one guest. And I told him, don't worry about it. I think his kid's playing baseball up at, what is it, 410, Lola? What's that called?
I-470.
I-470. And he said, I really don't want to do anything on the phone. It won't sound good. I'm like in the parking lot. So I said, when's your kid's playing? I guess he's playing now. So I said, you know what? We'll do it Monday. But we do have Greg Brown scheduled for 108. I don't think he's golfing with John Wayner because they didn't make the trip to Milwaukee. That's sad. You can't go on the road. But yet some teams go on the road. I can't figure it out. 135, Legend will give us the odds on the Final Four in hockey. Boy, I'm enjoying these playoffs. And Lola and I have talked about this before. A lot of fans, if their team is the Washington Capitals or the Pittsburgh Penguins or the Boston Bruins, if they have the best record during the regular season, they get the President's Trophy and home ice advantage. Guess what Colorado's doing today? Golfing. They have the best record during the regular season. They have home ice advantage throughout the playoffs that ended last night in Vegas. President's Trophy. Tell you what, I wouldn't want that thing. And if I was close to winning it, you know what? I might give up home ice not to get that trophy because, is it jinx, Lola? Can we use the word jinx?
That's what I've always heard, that there's a curse.
Yeah, so whatever. We always talk about, it's not what you do in the regular season. You just want to push the other guy. If you're close to a playoff, push him out of the way so he's sitting home and you're participating. Once you participate, a lot of good things can happen. Jeff Carter is a perfect example of that. When he played with the LA Kings, he won a couple of Stanley Cups. But the one year, he made it on the last game of the year. And they needed a win on the last game of the year, and it was like the number 16 team or number 8 in the conference. This is the first time I'm enjoying cold coffee, too, but that's okay. Happy to be here. In case you've forgotten, I'm Bill DeFabio, across the way, Lola Miller. It is June 11th, okay? Hope you are planning on having a nice weekend. I will be at the ballpark with Equipe Quebec. Yeah, we just got rid of them. I said, thanks goodness I don't have to go through those Canadian names anymore. So I was practicing last night. After the hockey game, I couldn't sleep, so I was looking over the rosters that's sent to me on the phone. That's an advantage I have. Yeah. Then I find out 3 names that I had problems with didn't make the trip because they're on IR. There you go. They're injured. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Tonight is, I should have worn my fancy shirt. Jimmy Buffett night. Margaritas, cheeseburgers, on the cheap. Last night it was dollar beer, and it was Stony Pints, done very well. Not a whole lot of people, but I know they were drinking. So a lot of baseball this weekend with the team from Canada, which has become the Road Warriors because they're not allowed to be in Canada to play even their home games. But they'll be allowed to travel in the middle of July, so that's a good thing. In case you did miss it, the Pirates, they lost again to the Dodgers. 6-3 was the final. I think the Dodgers have won 13 in a row over the Pirates dating back to 2018. At 3-7, Mitch Keller was the starter and loser. Keller continues to struggle, going 2 2/3 innings, 4 earned runs, 3 Ks, 3 walks, and he received a lot of boos last night. Sometimes he looks real good, and sometimes he looks real bad. Most of the time, real bad. 23-38 Pirates visit the Milwaukee Brewers. The Milwaukee Brewers have like 8 people on injured reserve or on IR or whatever with upper and lower body injuries, including 5 starters, and they have won 9 of their last 11 games. So you see, it's next man up. Stanley Cup playoffs, in case you missed it, yeah, I'm a big fan of Marc-Andre Fleury, and I enjoyed seeing that smile after the game, as the handshake, which I think is a great thing to do. Vegas defeated Colorado, which was the number 1 seed, 6-3. The next matchup should be an easy one for Vegas. You know, they have 4 good lines and a lot of depth. Montreal has a couple of good players and a great goaltender. I think that one will go 6. How about Golden Knights and maybe Tampa in the finals? Wouldn't that be great? But if it's the Islanders, maybe the Islanders are like the '69 Mets. The Miracle Islanders. That would be good. Can't lose with the Final Four. Nah, not a big fan of Montreal because they won all those Stanley Cups, but that's okay. Carey Price is a good guy, a great goaltender. And who knows, if he tosses a couple shutouts, maybe Montreal can go all the way. But it's cool. It's cool. Marc-Andre Fleury, 30 saves. He stood on his head in the third period for about 7 minutes. He probably knew Colorado was coming after him. I did feel sorry. You know, they zoomed in on the Colorado bench, and, you know, a lot of those young guys were crying. But that is one of the youngest teams in the National Hockey League, and they're going to come back again. Just don't win the President's Trophy, okay? I'm trying to think if the Penguins ever won it. No, I don't think so. That's about it. We covered almost everything. Mitch Keller, don't be surprised. Well, they can't send him down. I think he's out of options. But the rumors are starting. People are calling on Rodriguez in the bullpen. First baseman, Colin Moran. By the way, his hand injury, he took a wicked pitch from David Price on the hand. I mean, it looked bad. Even on TV, you could tell it was like black and blue. I'm thinking, there's a couple of broken bones there. The MRI came back, nothing broken. He's listed day to day. So if it's a hand injury, Lola, would that be upper body or lower body? Be upper, wouldn't it? Yeah. All right. And you know why they do that, so. Okay, today is Triple Crown Day. Why? We have to go racing back to 1919. Belmont Stakes in New York Sir Barton became the first horse to capture the Triple Crown. In case you're wondering, Eddie Arcaro on Whirlaway and Citation is the only jockey to have won the Triple Crown more than one time. He did it twice. And one of the better trainers, not named Bob Baffert, by the way, he's on 2-year probation. Jim McFitzsimmons had the most participants, winners in a Triple Crown circle. Guys, horses that finished 1 through 3. Jim Fitzsimmons, wonder if he has a relative that lives in Warwood. I don't know. But Triple Crown, are we done with races, Lola? Yeah. How about golf tournaments? Anything this weekend? No, nothing big. Next weekend's the big one, right? Yeah. We'll ask the legend. He's got some interesting odds on the Final Four in hockey. On shutouts, saves. It's amazing what you can bet on. It's just truly amazing. Very amazing. That's sports. I may as well go over the oldies calendar with Lola, since we're not going to have much time together with Greg Brown from 108 to 135. I don't really want to talk to. I talked to him last night after the game, after they lost to the Dodgers again. I don't really want to talk about the Pirates. Maybe a couple injuries here or there. There's already talk that people are calling on certain players, and there are at least 4 or 5 players that can help other teams right now. And other teams need bullpen help. There's a couple guys that could help. The Pirates would save some money. There's a couple hitters that can help. I just hope they don't trade Jacob Stallings, who is a very good catcher. And he's doing better in sports than his dad. His dad was the head coach at Pitt. When the first year they went 0 for 18 in the ACC or whatever. But Jacob, from what I understand, a really nice guy. And you don't want to talk basketball with him. Yeah, that must be strange. You're playing in Pittsburgh where your father was the coach in Pittsburgh and he's fired and you're working. It is a strange, strange world. Gene Wilder, Lola. I didn't know he passed away 5 years ago.
Yeah, he did.
One of my favorites. I loved him in Young Frankenstein, really loved him in Blazing Saddles, especially when he went to draw for his gun and his hands didn't move. I really didn't care for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but I had to take the kids a couple of times to see it. I didn't see The Producers. Was that a good one?
Oh, my God. The producer is absolutely hilarious.
That's a funny one, right?
Yes.
Another Mel Brooks film? I think so. No? I don't know.
That might be a Neil Simon.
Oh, okay.
I don't,
Silver Streak was pretty funny. Wasn't that with Richard Pryor?
yeah.
Yeah. But I gotta go with Blazing Saddles. You have a favorite Gene Wilder movie?
Oh,
They're all good, right?
yeah, yeah.
I met this guy, as a matter of fact, when I was serving a lot of the participants at the doo-wop. You know, if you wanted a cup of coffee, I'd go downstairs and get it for you. If you wanted a piece of cake, I would do that. Joey D took me aside. He says, "Are you working here?" I said, "No, I'm volunteering my services in case any of our people want something to eat or drink." He said, "Can you give me a salad, a couple of chocolate chip cookies, and a coffee?" If you ever seen the steps at the Capitol, you wonder why I struggle to go up and down. But I got it for him, and then we sat and talked. He did his big hit, Peppermint Twist. He sounds as good now than the time I watched him on American Bandstand. A nice guy. His real name, Joseph Nicola. All right? Yeah. Already? Yeah, we only got an hour to go. All right, a little bit of 25 to 6 to 4. It's about 12:58:02. We'll be right back with the voice of the Pirates, Greg Brown, Bill DeFabio, Lola Miller. We're together again on a Friday afternoon on The Variety Show.
Waiting for the break of day, searching for something to say.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1 W251CY, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7 W249DU, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. G7 leaders, including President Biden, are in Cornwall, England, to discuss the ongoing challenges of the pandemic, including announcing they're donating 1 billion COVID-19 vaccines to countries in need. That group also endorsed a global minimum tax rate of 15% for corporations. ABC's Rachel Scott is traveling with the president.
This is something that President Biden has been pushing for, a pretty big win for the White House here. This is going to make it so that no matter where your company is headquartered across the globe, you would pay the same tax rate. But still some steps ahead. The G7, the world leaders, can all come together on this. This is going to lay the groundwork and then sort of put the pressure on the G20 and other world leaders to pass and make this sort of a standardized tax rate. And then the next hurdle is going to be back home there in Washington. This is going to have to be passed in Congress.
On Capitol Hill, a bipartisan group of senators signaled that they have a compromise deal when it comes to infrastructure. ABC's Faith Abube says those hurdles, though, remain on hikes.
At issue here is how to pay for nearly $1 trillion in spending on rail, bridges, and roads. There are no traditional tax increases, which Republicans have fiercely opposed, but the plan does include tying the gasoline tax to inflation, which means gas prices could increase, and that would technically violate President Biden's promise not to raise taxes on Americans making less than $400,000.
ABC's Faith Abube. McDonald's is the latest target of a cyber attack.
In the latest example of a high-profile hacking target, McDonald's revealed a breach that exposed some business information for U.S. franchises like seating capacity and square footage, and customer data in South Korea and Taiwan. This hack did not involve ransomware, which has of late disrupted meat processing, fuel deliveries, and hospitals. McDonald's told the Wall Street Journal it cut off the hackers soon after discovering the breach and would look at necessary security enhancements.
ABC's Aaron Katursky reporting. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of 4 is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this: unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
In England, First Lady Jill Biden spent time with the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, who spoke to reporters about her new niece, the daughter of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
During an event at a school with First Lady Jill Biden, the Duchess of Cambridge was asked if she had any wishes for her new niece, Lilibet, the daughter of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. With a smile, she said,
I wish her all the very best. I can't wait to meet her because we haven't yet met her yet, so hopefully that will be soon.
The Duchess said she had not yet FaceTimed with her new niece, who was born last Friday in California. Karen Travers, ABC News, traveling with the president in Cornwall, England.
The Lone Star State is warming up to Bitcoin.
Texas regulators have given state-chartered banks the authority to provide safekeeping services for virtual currencies, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. As it is, cryptocurrency owners hold private keys in a digital wallet to gain access to their money. But in Texas, they can now turn that responsibility over to a third-party bank, or at least one of the 216 state-chartered banks around Texas. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Earlier this week, El Salvador became the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. The murder trial of real estate heir Robert Durst has been delayed again. He's hospitalized with an unspecified condition. Hearst is accused of killing a friend several decades ago. This is ABC News.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. To keep surfaces sanitized all day, use Microban 24. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria initially. Once dry, Microban 24 is effective for 24 hours on bacteria when used as directed. Microban 24 sanitizing spray, bathroom, and multi-surface cleaner.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A COVID-19 variant known as Delta is being found in 6% of cases in the U.S., which is concerning to health officials. Gabriela Garcia has more from affiliate station WBNS-TV in Columbus.
Ohio Health's Dr. Gastaldo says the Delta variant that the CDC says is 40% more transmissible than the original COVID-19 virus is a threat we need our eyes on.
It is the most contagious variant of this virus to date. It may have a higher disease severity.
Dr. Gastaldo says the Delta variant is causing spikes in other countries, primarily among unvaccinated people. And looking at how things are going in the U.S., even more cases of it will likely crop up. In Columbus, Gabriela Garcia.
And former Congressman Jim Renacci announced earlier this week he will challenge Governor Mike DeWine in a Republican gubernatorial primary. Andrew Kinsey says Renacci laid out his platform in part on Thursday.
If elected, he says the first thing he will do is cut spending. He has criticized programs like the Vax-A-Million. And in terms of saving money, Renacci says he would look at Medicaid expansion and higher education.
We've got too many universities that when our population is going down, we know that for a fact. We know that we're going to lose a member of Congress. So we don't have the same population base that we did.
I'm Andrew Kinsey.
For a look at state news anytime, visit ONNradio.com. I'm Daniel Barnett on the Ohio News Network.
More live and local programming than anyone else in the Ohio Valley. The Watchdog returns in moments.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I'm loving living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Say I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Are you ready to be a vital part of the country's leading supplier of industrial, medical, and specialty gases? Airgas USA is looking for a delivery driver in the Ohio Valley to safely and efficiently deliver gas products throughout the tri-state area. As an Airgas delivery driver, you will serve as the face of Airgas and be offered a full benefits package including medical, dental, vision, 401k, paid holidays, and much more. We're interviewing candidates now, so don't wait. Head to airgas.com/careers today.
Hello, everyone, from the Watchdog. I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Mostly cloudy with a few scattered showers and thunderstorms developing through the day. High near 80 degrees. Overnight low of 63 degrees under mostly cloudy skies and widely scattered showers. Could see a few scattered showers around early Saturday, otherwise clouds and sunshine coming through the afternoon, with highs returning in the low to mid 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, The Watchdog.
All right, I got my thoughts together since it took me a day and a half to get here. In case you tried to join me at 12, I wasn't around. So Lola did a nice job. You know, we always have kind of stuff to fill in. There's no best of Bill DeFabio, maybe the worst of Bill DeFabio. And if he didn't call us back, we would never have the best of Greg Brown on. Greg, I was ready to send you to Altoona.
That's a nice place to be.
Yeah, you've been out there, right?
Oh, yeah, plenty of times.
That's a
great,
fun...
It's a great ballpark.
Yeah, and, you know, there's like, is that a, like fairgrounds in the background with the Ferris wheel and everything? Yeah.
Yeah, and the roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
Out in right field.
Yeah, I never checked that out. I did check out one game a few years ago, and I should have made a weekend out of it, but I didn't. So, but
it's a great place. It's a great place to watch a ball game.
We have on the Wild Things team a former member of the Altoona Curve, Braylon Jackson. I don't know if you remember the name.
I don't remember. No.
He was there for a cup of coffee and a couple of beers, I think. Good kid.
Okay.
Good kid. And we had a couple guys who played with the Astros and that. It's amazing. And now you see where Mr. Frazier, the guy that used to wear a Pirate uniform, is now in Sussex County, which is a Frontier League team. So I asked the general manager of Wild Things, why didn't you go after the guy? He said there was interest, but he wanted to play baseball near his home. So that's okay, too.
Well, he's also getting ready. I think he's trying to get. He's going to be on the Olympic team, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he?
Yes.
Todd Frazier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure he wants to stay close to home and then prepare for that because he's a Jersey kid. And, getting ready for the Olympics. And I tell you, I was really disappointed that it didn't work out with him and the Pirates.
Yeah.
They gave him every opportunity, but it just did not work, and it's a shame because I thought he was a nice fit, a leader, a veteran to be in that clubhouse, in that dugout.
Yep.
Just a shame, really.
Coming off the bench, he could have helped. He can play any position, you know. So.
Yeah, I mean, they had other guys who were performing better and younger, and so I get it, but it's just too bad. It just flat out didn't hit. He just now whether he gets it together, if he gets more at bats consecutively. Playing in independent league ball, perhaps. I hope so, because he seems like a great guy.
Yeah. You know, I talked to the other day. He's coming to the Wild Things to do a promotion for the Miracle Mile, his baseball organization for charity. Sean Casey.
Oh, the Miracle League field, you mean?
Yeah. Did you ever hear him speak? He's one of the best speakers. He has you laughing.
Tremendous.
He has you laughing. You're wetting your pants. I mean, he is one cool guy.
I made the mistake yesterday of stopping into the television booth at TNC Park. We were on the radio for the afternoon game against the Dodgers yesterday. We were not on AT&T because it was a national YouTube game.
Oh.
Which YouTube has been doing for the last couple of years. And one of their announcers, because they try and get local guys, is Sean Casey. He did the color, and it was weird. They had the play-by-play guy was in Secaucus, New Jersey, on the MLB Network. That's Scott Braun.
Yeah.
They had Scott Hairston, Jerry Hairston in Los Angeles. He's a former player. And they had another former player somewhere else. And the only guy that was in the ballpark was Sean Casey.
He had a producer with him, right? Didn't he have a producer with him?
He did, yep.
Okay.
He had a producer with him. And so I stopped in the booth about, I was on the air, supposed to go on the air at 12:10, I believe it was. And I stopped in the booth real quick, or I thought it would be quick, at about 1:45. And, you know, Sean, of course, I'm no better. I shouldn't talk because I can yap for the best of them. But he and I chatted for at least a half an hour, and I looked up at the clock, and somebody's yelling from the other booth, "You're 30 seconds from airtime." So, but anyway, yeah, it was great to catch up with him. He's such a treat to be around and such a great guy, and yeah, he's a tremendous speaker too.
I think it was, 7 or 8 years ago? I forget. I don't know what I did yesterday, to tell you the truth. I was attending a banquet. It was a roast. And yes, I paid for my ticket, Greg, in case you're wondering. It was.
I was.
It was. I got to write it off, though. That's a good thing.
Okay.
It was on the dais. It was a who's who, okay? But these three sat together, all right? I think Jim Leland snuck a cigarette, all right? Of course, Jim Leland could do anything he wanted to do, but it was Leland. And to his right, Sean Casey. To Sean Casey's right, Steve Blass. You talk about the comedy hour. All the stories they told. Everybody was laughing.
That is a treat, those three. Oh, my goodness.
There were a lot of corporate people in there, non-baseball people, but they wanted to be there to rub elbows with the stars.
Sure.
And you know, they were laughing. I mean, it was, and, you know, you only got like 15 minutes to speak. The three of them went on for about an hour and a half, and I wish they would have gone on for about 4 hours. They were so entertaining. They were ripping each other, ripping their friends. And I think there was a guy from DVE who introduced Leland like it was an obituary.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah. Well, you know, the guys at DVE, they're funny guys too. And I guess they were the host radio station. And he gets up and he starts doing Jim Leland's obituary with Leland like looking up at him, thinking he was probably dead.
God.
Think about that.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. National YouTube. Well, I learned that today.
Yep. YouTube's doing, I think, a game a week on a national game of the week.
Yeah.
And it was the Pirates and the Dodgers yesterday from PNC Park.
Yeah, what happened with Mookie Betts? Did he make a great catch or something? I was reading about it.
Like I said, I was on the radio with Michael McHenry. And
oh, okay.
And to describe the play here, the inning before, the Pirates tied the game on a double to right field by, I believe it was, I want to say it was Brian Reynolds. It might have been Philip Evans. At any rate, Mookie Betts was playing right field for the Dodgers, and the Pirates had a runner at first, and I believe 1 or 2 outs. But Betts goes into the corner to hit this ball, retrieve it, and he turns, and I am assuming that he's going to throw to second base to try and hold the batter who hit it. It might have been Frazier. Just throw it towards second base to hold him to just a double. And the runner, who might have been Philip Evans, is, I assume, going to cross home plate without even a throw because the ball's toward the right field corner.
Yeah.
The next thing I see is I'm watching Evans, the Pirate player, try to score. The ball's coming in from nowhere to the catcher. Now, it wasn't a very close play because Evans didn't have to slide, but he had to hurry. And Michael McHenry said, boy, I cannot believe that throw from Mookie Betts. And I thought Betts had thrown it to a cutoff man. I didn't watch Betts. I said, do you mean to tell me Betts threw that one hopper from the right field corner? And and McHenry said, yeah. He goes, now, I never saw Clemente play, but I hear people who did see him play tell me what a great arm he had, and I think that was probably like Clemente.
Wow.
So the very next inning, the Pirates have a runner at third base and nobody out, and there's a fly ball toward right field, and Mookie Betts is coming in. He's fairly deep and toward the foul line, and it's a medium depth catch. I assume he'll just make the catch and just throw the ball to the infield, maybe try and fire to the plate and hope. Well, he makes, and you can envision this, Bill, because you saw Clemente.
Yeah.
On the dead run, a basket catch just below the waist.
Like Clemente.
And in full stride, turning 360 degrees in all-in-one motion, throw a one-hop strike to the catcher, who tags out the runner for the Pirates.
Like Clemente used to do, yep.
It was unbelievable, because moments ago, McHenry was saying, well, I never saw Clemente play, but from what I understand, blah, blah, blah. And here, lo and behold, the next inning, he pulls off an absolute gem, and it was Clemente-like. It was incredible. And if you haven't seen it, you talk about YouTube.
Yep,
that'll be on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube forever.
Yeah, this is no brag, just fact. I used to go to a lot of Pirate games at Forbes Field, get on the bus for about $1 in Washington, PA, round-trip ticket, get the 50-cent ticket to sit in the right field seats and watch Clemente. I wish I had a quarter for every time Clemente, when somebody would hit a single, Clemente would throw him out at first, like it was nothing.
Unbelievable.
You know what's strange about the Dodgers? Not that, being a Red Sox guy, I see Mookie Betts, but he was a good guy. It's strange seeing Albert Pujols in a Dodger uniform. After watching
very strange.
Wasn't that strange?
Very strange. Very strange. And, it's a good chance that we probably saw him take his last at-bats in Major League Baseball, and in 5 years, he'll be in the Hall of Fame, of course, in Cooperstown. What's interesting about it is, years from now, when we're long gone, decades down the road, when people are researching, as I do, old newspaper clippings of Babe Ruth and hitting his last 3 home runs at Forbes Field, of course, and it's really neat to look at the history of the game and read how it was described and people who were there and what they saw, and it will be, again, years down the road when people will, generations to come, read up on the internet or whatever is the next phase of communication about the last time he came to Pittsburgh. And, his numbers at PNC Park are through the roof. The numbers are outrageous. I think his numbers average RBIs, the new thing, OPS, which is on base plus slugging.
Yeah.
I think it's the highest of any opposing player in the history of Pittsburgh Pirates baseball. So not just at PNC Park, any visiting player who came to Pittsburgh, Albert Pujols has the best numbers of any visiting player. So he gets 2 more hits. His first 2 times to the plate, the night before last, he's starting at first base. He didn't start the first game of the series. He did this. He gets 2 more hits. Yesterday, he comes to the plate with the Dodgers leading the Pirates. I think it was 6-3, and it starts to rain. And there's a man on. They've scored a run, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. And the umpire, I've never seen this before, ever. He stops the game for a second. He calls out the grounds crew guy, his name's Matt Brown. He's the head of the grounds crew. And they go over in foul territory outside the third base line. They're talking. You can see them talk. It's starting to get kind of heavy, the rain. Here's Pujols standing in the batter's box with a 2-1 count, 1 out, and a runner at first base for the Dodgers. They're leading, I think, 6-3. and here's the umpire looking at the iPhone of the head of the grounds crew, Matt Brown, to see the radar, to see how heavy the rain is going to. All of a sudden, he calls for the tarp. So right in the middle of Albert Pujols' at bat, the tarp comes on the field. There's an hour and a half delay, and the game is called because of rain. So it's an official game.
Wow.
It's a final score, and Albert Pujols does not get an official at bat, even though he's in the batter's box with a 2-1 count. That is likely the last time he ever comes to Pittsburgh. Think of that. How crazy is that?
Yeah, yep. And you won't see something like that again for a while, right?
No, exactly. I had a chance to talk to Pujols because, I'm a big shot myself.
Yeah,
So
I know.
went down-
I know. You'll tell us that too. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm a big shot. So I went down on the field the other day because now, lo and behold, we can be treated like human beings. And I'm on the field with some other members of the media during batting practice. And I guess you're allowed on the field right now as long as you stay kind of distant from the players and as the Pirates are taking batting practice. But once Pirate batting practice is done, you're supposed to go back up into the press box. Well, I was drifting away from the gaggle of reporters, and I was being a bad boy without my mask on because being fully vaccinated and out in the open space in a ballpark that seats 40,000 people makes no sense whatsoever that you would have to wear a mask, so I was not wearing one.
Wow.
And I was the only member of the media not wearing one, which I don't understand. But anyway, the Dodgers came out to stretch before batting practice, and Pujols is loosening up his arm, and I just walked over to him. I said, "Hey, Albert," I said, I'm just, I'm fully vaccinated. I know I don't have a mask on, but he took his hand, and he said hello. He recognized me, shook my hand like two human beings. No masks, and we chatted for about 5 minutes, and I asked him if he had any particular stories about PNC Park over the many years. This is the first time he's been back in PNC Park for I want to say 5 or 6 years when he was with the Angels, and he said no particular stories, but he said this is my favorite ballpark ever. I said, what? What about Busch Stadium in St. Louis? What about Dodger Stadium, the Mecca?
Yeah.
What about Wrigley Field? What about Fenway? He goes, nope, this is by far the best. I said, well, that's because you hit 400 here. He goes, nope, it has nothing to do with that. He goes, I just love it. I love the city. I love the skyline. You have a great background, the batter's eye in center field. It's beautiful. He says, yeah, I play well, but the fans are great. Even in the summertime when it's hot, it's just a great place to be along the river. And it was really neat. Now, American League, his favorite ballpark is Kansas City.
Yeah,
but
that's
he
a
said,
beautiful
this is my favorite ballpark.
Wow, that's a nice compliment to the city, to the Pirates, and wow.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I never talked to him because I thought he would always call me and keep in touch with me because I'm a celebrity too in my own mind.
Oh, I know you're a bigger shot than I am.
No,
And you always point that out to me.
I'm a little shot. You're the big shot. Hey, I got to ask you a question. How's Colin Moran? Is there an update?
Well, I had heard someone said yesterday at one point, and now I can't substantiate this because I didn't get it through the trainer. Someone said they heard that he had an X-ray and that it was negative.
Negative, okay.
Which is good news. The fact that they didn't put him on the injured list yesterday or today yet. Now they play the Brewers in Milwaukee tonight, so it's not going to be. It'll be like I think an 8:00 game Eastern time.
Yeah. Okay.
So that could change, but for now, it doesn't sound. Which is hard to believe. I don't know if you were watching the game or you heard about it.
I watched it last night. The video of him getting hit.
Yeah, I mean we asked the producer after he got hit. I said let's replay it, but I'll shut up and let's just listen to it. And so we did. We replayed it with just this natural sound, and it was gruesome. It sounded like it cracked his bat, but the replay showed it hit his hand.
Oh yeah, it did. Well, that's.
I don't know how you can. I don't know how it can make a sound like that and not be broken. I don't understand that.
Yeah. So he didn't even walk to first base, did he? Well, he had to.
Well, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He started to walk to first, and then the trainers came out and you could see it start to swell up.
Okay.
And so they just took him out of the game.
Hey, I got a couple of birthdays for you, okay? You recognize both of these stars. Dave Cash is celebrating a birthday today. Pretty good second baseman. Played in the
Very
71
good.
World Series. He was an all-star with the Phillies in 74, and 75 and 76. And he closed out his career with the Expos and the Padres. A good hitter, a good fielder. How old is Dave Cash today?
Oh, man. Wow.
Within
I'm
2
gonna say-
years. If you get it within 2 years, you can have a beer with Lola.
I'm saying he is going to be, oh boy, it's a total guess. Let's see, I'm trying to think about Steve Blass, and he was around with Blass, and was he older, younger than Blass? I'll say 76.
You're off a little bit. 73.
Okay.
All right. The pride of Ringgold High School, Joe Montana, celebrating a
Wow.
birthday. 4 Super Bowl
Wow.
rings, okay? It
Wow.
was hard seeing him in a Kansas City Chiefs quarterback in the playoffs when he helped the Chiefs beat the Steelers in a playoff game. But that's another commentary. How old is Joe Montana, the pride of Ringgold High School and Notre Dame?
Oh, boy. 65?
Right on the nose.
Whoa!
Right on the nose.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
Batting 500, batting 500.
You don't get a beer with Lola, though.
I'm
sorry.
yeah, I got the wrong answer. I got the right answer for the wrong guy.
Yeah. Vince Lombardi, born on this date in 1930. There's a good.
He's 150.
But you may want to give this slogan to Derek Shelton when he's in a good mood after a victory, which may be tonight because you guys seem to do well in Milwaukee. Winning isn't everything. It's the only
It's the
thing.
only thing.
Yeah. By the way, you're not in Milwaukee, are you?
No, sir.
You know, I had Tim Neverett on the other day. I thought he was in Pittsburgh. He said, Bill, I don't travel. That's so
No?
stupid. That's so stupid. You know,
It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
because he's one of the good guys. I put him up there with the Greg Browns of the world.
Yeah, he's a very, very good guy, and I root for him. And I'm sure he pitched his book. I'm sure he got the book out.
Yep.
Yep. So
We promoted it. When's the Greg Brown book coming out?
when I'm long gone, somebody will maybe write something about because I've got too many things that I have been through in my life, Bill. I can't say publicly, so it'll have to be when I'm gone.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure you'll mention 4 Super Bowls, 4 losses, right?
Oh yeah, I'll do the jokes that still are with me to this day. That you spell Bills with 4 L's.
Oh, I could use that. You know what? I felt bad for you after every loss. And I didn't see you again until you did a Steeler game. I'm right behind you. I said, that's Greg Brown. I didn't know you were working with the Bills. And that's, we had our relationship back together again since our good old days with the Pirates.
That was when I came to Pittsburgh. That was when Art Rooney asked me when he said that Jack Fleming was probably going to retire the following year, and did I have any interest in doing Steelers football? And that was when the Bills were in Pittsburgh for a playoff game, and that was my last year. That's when the Pirate job was just coming up.
Wow.
In fact, I took the Pirate job in 1994, and later that fall is when they named Bill Hillgrove the play-by-play. Bill's been doing Steeler football.
Yeah.
As long as I've been doing Pirates baseball.
Yep, and he's been doing Pitt sports since like 1928.
Oh my gosh, I think he celebrated his 50th year.
Yeah.
Doing Pitt sports last year.
Yeah. Boy, I'm closing my eyes and thinking out loud. What if Greg Brown was a Steeler announcer? Are you kidding me? In the same press box, Greg Brown and Myron Cope? Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, you would have had a lot of laughs.
Ha! Oh, I had a lot of laughs with Myron. I liked Myron.
Good man.
He was one thing about Myron too. He was honest.
Yes.
And honest to a fault.
Yep.
If you didn't want to hear the truth, don't talk to Myron.
No. I could write a book about Myron. But you know what? It's always a pleasure, Greg. And I'm glad I met you that day in the press box. And thanks for the story about Mr. Rooney. That's cool stuff too.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. So you're doing a game in the studio tonight in Pittsburgh, right?
Do the studio this weekend, but I am driving to. This is headline news, a breaking story.
Okay.
I'm driving to Washington D.C. Sunday night I will be doing all 3 games on the radio in D.C. against the Nationals starting on Monday night. Now, that's not newsworthy because I drove to Detroit and Cincinnati earlier this year. But the big news is I'm going to be on the chartered flight with the team coming back to Pittsburgh on Wednesday night.
Yeah, but if you're driving, what happens to your car?
I'm renting a car.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was going to say.
So I'll be on the charter for the first time since COVID hit. And so that's kind of a breakthrough for us. That means I think we'll start traveling, at least doing radio games on the road, and hopefully we can keep the pressure on AT&T Sportsnet and get them in gear and get them on the road with us to do TV games on the road.
Well, Greg, you've come a long, long way since you were the fill-in parrot.
As have you, Bill, when you were the fill-in sportscaster for WOW in Wowo, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I thought it was WOLD. You remember that song?
Hey, by the way, you probably don't have any time for one more quick one, do you?
Hurry up. Yeah, wait, we have a quick one. Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. One of my jobs in Buffalo was to do liners with the players because I was kind of in charge of our little 5-station radio network that did Buffalo Bison baseball.
Okay.
So I had all of our network affiliates send me just liners for 10-second IDs, and I would go around and record the players.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the stations we had was in Hornell, New York.
Okay.
It was WHOO, Hornell.
Okay.
So one of the players, I won't name him, it's not fair, but I went up to one of the players, I said, could you go ahead and just put your name in here? Hi, this is blank, blah, blah. And he goes, hi, this is center fielder, blah, blah, blah. And you're listening to woo, Hornell.
You ought to write a book. You could write a good one, man. Yeah. Hey, Greg, thanks a lot, man. Always good to talk to you.
All right, Bill. See ya. Good talking to you.
Good
Okay.
talking to you. All right.
Bye-bye.
What a great story. Art Rooney steps into this is the old man. Yeah. Walked into the booth and asked him about, someday he'd like to be the Steeler announcer. And he ends up being the Buffalo Bills announcer the same year that Bill Hillgrove was named the Steelers announcer, okay? I just can't wait for the Steelers to make an announcement who is going to fill in for Tunchiokan, okay? I think it's going to be a current player. A player that's played recently that knows the system and that. But it's going to be interesting, I'm still in touch with my friends in Boston every day. It looks like it's maybe 60-40 they're going to hire a female, which I think would be great, not only for the NBA, but for your sports in general, okay? And I hope it's Greg Popovich's assistant, because he said, she has really helped him a lot. Think about that. Greg Popovich, 5 NBA titles. He's like the dean of all the head coaches. What a compliment for that lady. Maybe she'll be wearing the green of the Celtics. I don't know. But we'll be right back with the legend talking about the odds on the Final Four of the Stanley Cup playoffs. That coming up and more on The Variety Show.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins in West Hamlin in Lincoln County, where a classic West Virginia flash flood hit on Thursday night. Residents here tell me 2 cloudbursts occurred and then runoff from West Hamlin Hill, which sent a small stream into a river, into their yards and into their homes. There's particular damage along Route 3. Fortunately, no injuries, but there were 12 residents who had to be rescued from their homes. In West Hamlin, I'm Jeff Jenkins. Now with more news, here's Chris Lawrence.
Lynn Adkins lives along that creek on Route 3 in West Hamlin, says that second cloudburst was the bad one.
Somebody that me and my husband know, he's a preacher man. I've never known a preacher man to lie. And he looked at my husband right dead in the face. He said the second cloudburst was worse than the first one, and I truly, honestly believe that.
And cleanup continuing in Lincoln County today, but Lincoln County was not the only bad spot overnight. There was heavy runoff from a similar cloudburst in Ripley. Jackson County Sheriff Ross Mellinger telling Metro News the drainage could not handle that kind of water, and it forced a lot of people to call for help.
Multiple high water rescues, both from vehicles and homes. There was a fire call for service on Clay Lick Road just outside of Ripley here, where the fire personnel couldn't get to the necessary area where the fire was because of the water.
But all people are accounted for today. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. The State High School Track and Field Championships continue today at Laidley Field in Charleston with the Class AA competition. Last night in Class A, Williamstown's girls won the crown with Doddridge County finishing runner-up. In the boys, it was Doddridge County winning the title. Ritchie County was the runner-up. More at WVMetroNews.com. Repeating the day's top story, significant damage from high water in West Hamlin in Lincoln County and around Ripley and Jackson County, and flood watches remain in effect for most of West Virginia throughout the day today. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog. I'm John Thayer. The College Football Playoff Management Committee will consider expanding the current 4-team field to 12-team formats when it meets in Chicago next week, marking the first step in what could be another historic change for the sport's postseason. Proposal does not include guarantees for conference champions. Instead, it calls for the bracket to include 6 highest-ranked conference champions, plus the 6th highest-ranked other teams as determined by the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. There would be no limit of number of participants from a conference, and no league would qualify automatically. Oklahoma won the softball national championship yesterday as they beat Florida State 5-1. Download the Score app today, lightning fast sports alerts, so you never miss a thing. I'm John Thayer with the Sports Flash, powered by The Score on The Watchdog.
What can give you a competitive edge in today's red-hot housing market? Rocket can. That's because Rocket Mortgage can give you a verified approval. It could help your offer stand out. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers greater confidence in you. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information, appraisal, and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
It's like I blinked and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 want to thank the owners and contractors of the Ohio Valley for using their locally trained workers to help build for the future. Local 83 helps design, fabricate, and build the gas infrastructure for the oil and gas industry here in the Ohio Valley. Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 is 300 members strong and growing. They also do residential, commercial, and industrial work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steam Fitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
The outdoor drama Tecumseh is back this summer. The drama, the history, and the spectacle make Tecumseh one of Ohio's most beloved traditions. Tecumseh has provided thrilling live entertainment for 50 years, and the outdoor theater at Sugarloaf Mountain will provide a safe and memorable experience for your entire family. Get tickets now at tecumsehdrama.com. This message is made possible in part by the Ohio Arts Council. Tecumseh, experience the drama.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy on it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding. Over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Frio Stack & Associates Auctioneers, Realtors, Certified Appraisers specializing in antiques, business liquidations, multi-parcel land auctions. Frio Stack & Associates is a regional business offering the executor, attorney, agent, and other individuals the most comprehensive and technologically advanced auction and appraisal services available. For information on our service, call our office at 304-233-3168 or email frioauc@aol.com. Frio Stack & Associates sells the earth and everything.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Statewide Talkline. I'll have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls, and all the big stories affecting West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
even know my name. They call me the Wanderer. Yeah, the Wanderer. I roam around, 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 around. Oh, well, let's blow on my left.
You know, you just heard a spot for Frio auction. I'm going to add to that. It's online-only auction, and the bidding closes Monday, June 21st, so you can get online and start bidding. Here we go. It's going to be toys and collectibles. Okay, by the way, to bid, www.frioandstack.com and click bid. Lots of great toys and collectibles, like the Ben Cooper costume. He was the guy dressed up as the creature from the Black Lagoon. Then Revenge of the Creature. Then there was a third one, too. He was also in the uniform for Ape Man, all right? But there's all kinds of memorabilia. I always have trouble with that word. Like Pittsburgh Pirate stuff from 1959 to the 70s, okay? Lots of good stuff, toys and collectibles. So you can start bidding today, all right? You remember Creature from the Black Lagoon, don't you, Legend?
Yes, I do, sir.
Yeah. Yep. You could tell there was a guy in there. You know, it didn't look like a creature. It just looked like a guy in a costume like the Martians invaders from Mars. When they turned around with the humans, you could see their zippers. I caught that as a kid. You know what I mean? Now today, it's altogether different, but whatever. I like those old movies from the 50s and 60s. Yeah, they were like B movies, but they were cool. You have a favorite science fiction movie?
No, not really. I was mainly a country western guy.
Oh, you were big on John Wayne then, right?
Yeah, John Wayne and all the good F Troop.
You watched F Troop?
Yes, I did. I loved
that was awful. Oh, man. I thought maybe you'd say The Rifleman or Wanted Dead or Alive or Gunsmoke. Bonanza? F Troop? Oh, Lola, do you like F Troop?
Yeah.
Larry Stork.
I like the theme song. The theme song was okay. Okay. Hey, we got the Final Four of hockey, all right? Probably be a lot of betting going on. If people bet on Colorado to go all the way because they won the President's Trophy, boy, they were in for a big surprise last night. It's bad juju if you win the President's Trophy with the best record during the regular season. Means nothing in the postseason. Ask any of the teams recently, especially the Washington Capitals a few years ago. Then after that, they didn't finish first, but they won a Stanley Cup. So let's go in the conference with, say, Vegas and who are they playing now? Montreal. Montreal's got to be a big-time underdog, even though they've won, 7 in a row.
Montreal's a big dog. I tell you what, the question of the day, Mr. DeFabio, now think about this. How many people thought when Marc-Andre Fleury left Pittsburgh that he was done?
I wasn't one of them. I thought he could still play.
There was a lot of them.
Yeah. I thought he'd be, who was the guy that won about 4 or 5 cups with New Jersey? They played a boring brand of hockey, but he was Martin Brodeur.
Martin Brodeur.
Yeah. Now I see him in commercials. But I thought he would be like that, play for a long time. So, but you know what? I was sad when he left because he was a great guy. If you were a member of the media, you'd almost have to tell him to shut up because he just kept talking and talking with that smile. And once in a while, he'd throw a little French in there. But he was hilarious. The team loved him. And he went to Vegas, gets a little bit more money, was in the Stanley Cup final, got beat by the Capitals. I think he's going back because I think they're going to beat Montreal in 5. How do you like that, Legend? Would you bet on it?
Wow. You know what his claim to fame was? He stole his sister-in-law. I don't know if you remember that.
He what?
Divorced his wife and ended up marrying his sister-in-law.
Well, I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't get into personal lives, but now I know that. That's okay. If he's happy, she's happy. Who cares, right?
That's right.
So if you're betting, would you say DeFabio's going to take Vegas in 5? Would you bet on it?
That's a tough situation. The popular money right now, after last night's game, they're really on Vegas. Vegas is the top front runner right now. They're them and then Tampa Bay and the Islanders and then Montreal. But Montreal, the way they played, they shut that team out in 4 straight. So that's going to be a tough series.
Okay, let's go to the big one. I think these Islanders remind me of the '69 Mets. You remember them, right?
That's correct.
I think they're going to make some news. Tampa Bay, they got something to prove. It was a short season last year, and people were reminding them of that. But they got not one, not two, but 4 great lines and a lot of depth. The Islanders, their big star hasn't played for months, Lee, and they still find ways to win. If Tampa Bay makes mistakes, the Islanders will take advantage of it. Can the Islanders do it? You ready for this? I think the Islanders are going to win in 7.
I'm against you there. I'm a believer now in Tampa Bay. I love Carolina. That was one of my sleeper picks, and I also loved Colorado. So I'm going with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, all right. It doesn't look good for my Pirates winning 70 games, does it?
You're better with the under on 58.
Yeah, it's so sad. And they've already lost, 13 one-run games? They haven't beaten Los Angeles since, 2018? The Dodgers have won 13 in a row. But what's really strange, they're going into Milwaukee where they basically have owned the Brewers. And I looked at the injured list. They got 7 players, Milwaukee does, on the injured list. And they've won, 9 of their last 12? Makes no sense. A lot of star players, not in the lineup, but they find, I guess they must watch Bill Belichick's film called Next Man Up. Or Do Your Job, Hey, guess who's celebrating a birthday today?
Who is?
Little Billy, back in 67, when the Steelers beat the Packers, upset the Packers at Pitt Stadium. I waited outside in the rain for about an hour and a half to meet Vince Lombardi. I stood by the door, they gained entrance in the bus, in the rain, and I got to meet him. Didn't get a chance to shake his hand, but I got eye contact, which was good for me because, I grew up a Packer fan. But he had a great line. By the way, today's his birthday. You want to guess how old he'd be? He died in 1970.
Wow, that's a good question there.
Take a guess. How old would Vince be today? Come on.
103.
Ooh, that might be, I should have bet on that with you. Hold on. I got to do the math. 8. That don't make sense. Lola, help me. 2021. Take that, 1913. Where are we? 108 years old? He couldn't be 108 years old if he was living, could he?
Yeah,
that's
my
right.
mom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's like George Burns' number.
Yeah.
That guy smoked a lot, drank a lot, pretended to play around a lot, and he lived, to about 101?
101, exactly.
Vince Lombardi had this to say, not Air Parsegian of Notre Dame, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. I just had Greg Brown on. I said, give that little clip to Derek Shelton. Losing means nothing. Yeah, I was talking to a buddy of mine. I have a dinner bet with him, 70 games. He doesn't think they'll win 60, so I might lose a dinner there. But I hope to win a couple of dinners with hockey, so, it's going to be very interesting. So we have PGA coming up next weekend?
The PGA, U.S. Open.
Okay.
Should be a fun tournament.
Who do you think the early favorite is? Could it be Mickelson?
Well, the way Dustin Johnson's running this tournament this week, I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be the favorite.
Yeah. That's funny. Phil is familiar with that golf course because I guess it's in his backyard and he lives near there. But he's never won there. But he practiced there a lot. I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, Dustin's done a great job too. So yeah. And pretty soon we'll be talking football, man. Right around the corner, right?
Yeah, right. Pretty another month we'll be going to training camp.
And I'm going to abuse you for the NBA Finals.
I'll be looking forward to it.
I'm so happy the Lakers aren't in it. I think a lot of people are too.
Yeah, I am too. I'm surprised Milwaukee won last night. I thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you watch, what was the game where the other team quit, like in the third quarter? What game was on the other night? The Clippers?
That was, Phoenix.
Yeah, the Suns beat
put
the
them
crap
away
out.
early.
Yeah, you could tell the guys, they didn't want to be there. They weren't moving up and down the court. And I said, come on, guys. So you're behind by 26. Was it the Celtics or somebody came from behind at 28 and won? You're supposed to give it 150%. That's why you make $1 zillion a year. I was very disappointed, and even Charles Barkley went after him. Those guys quit. They just quit. I like Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great to be on the show, you know. And I might have to root for Phoenix Suns. When has the city of Phoenix celebrated anything? 2001 World Series, right? That was it?
Dick Van Arsdale days when...
Oh, my goodness. What a name from the past. Dick Van Arsdale. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's another brother combination, the Van Arsdales.
Yep, they were both good. You remember when Rick Barry played? He threw the ball underhand?
Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, the good old days.
Play with Nate Thurman.
You got a good memory, my man.
Thank you.
You know your basketball, but I bet you don't know the Michael Jordan Topps rookie card.
I know a friend of mine has 7 of them.
Well, then your friend ought to be selling them.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to sell them?
I think they're still in a vault.
Yeah. How about this? One of my idiot colleagues, and I've told that him to his face because he is an idiot, and you can ask anybody that's worked with him. I won't mention his name. He writes a newspaper column. He did a nice job on Twitch-Yokin the other day. Supposedly, you ready for this story? This might be fake news. He gave a lot of his press passes, World Series and Super Bowl, and I got tons of that stuff, to a friend to make like wallpaper out of it or put him in a frame. His friend, I don't want to mention his name, I'll call him Johnny. His friend put Johnny's press passes and everything on eBay to make money.
Wow.
How about a low blow?
Yeah.
That would be like me giving Lola a game ball signed by Al Kaline as a gift forever, and she turns around and puts it on eBay. She wouldn't do that. Would you, Lola? No. Maybe I got press pins and everything. Final Fours, the Olympics. I got the 84 Olympic set with all the countries. I've been to one Olympics, L.A., and that was the first time I've been in L.A. Then I traveled there a couple times with the... I can't imagine driving a car in L.A., let alone New York. But when I called you today, stuck on the highway, that was a long, long haul for me. So doesn't matter where you are if there's traffic. But I like when you brought up Dick Van Arsdale. What was his brother's name?
What was his brother's name?
That's what I'm asking you. What was his brother's name?
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
You're like me, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think now. Do you remember the three Alous when they played together in the field with...
yeah, Matty, Philippe, and Jesus.
Yep. Felipe. Yeah, that's what he liked to be called.
Can of corn.
Can of corn. Matty Alou, yep.
Yeah,
I saw that the other night at a Wild Things game, and I said can of corn, and the interns looked at me. Then I thought, oh, they don't know what that means. Yeah. It was a can of corn under the lights, and he dropped it. Then the guy tries to go to second base, and the guy that dropped the baseball in center field threw him out. So, whatever. But I want to see somebody hit a home run and miss first base. There's your odds. What are the odds of that happening? Something happening to the Pirates down the road at first base. Lloyd McClendon, remember what he did? He picked up the first base and threw it.
Yeah, he picked the base up and threw it.
Jason Kendall, I can still see it from the press box, slid into first base, bone sticking out of his leg. Will Craig, what he did last week. And then Mr. Hayes hit a home run and forgot first base. I'll say one thing, the Pirates got a lot of publicity with those two plays in a span of 5 days. Oh, boy.
They didn't interview his dad at that time, did they?
Oh, no. That's unbelievable. Good stuff. You know, I want the Pirates to do well. I mean, they're exciting to watch, but these losses, what are they now? 23 and what? You have the stats there?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you in a minute. Where's my morning stuff? They are 23 and 38. That's how many games under 50? That's 15 games under 500. But you know, they play the Brewers very well in Milwaukee. And Milwaukee's got like 8 players, 4 of them starters on IR. But 2 of the best pitchers are going against the Pirates, so we'll see. We'll see. I just want to see them win like 9 out of 10 one time. It's going to happen. It happens to all the bad teams, you know? You're going to have a good streak, then people get excited, then it's going to be back to normal. All right. So you disagree with my finals matchup, right?
Yeah, I'm favoring Tampa Bay.
I got to go with
that.
I'm going with the Islanders. Come on. A little chubby
gotta
guy, a chubby head coach with a bald head, and he wears clothes from the 60s. It looks like he bought his sports coats from Sears, if you know what I mean. You got to root for Barry Trotz.
Yeah, you got to root for. You're right. You got to root for the Islanders and the Canadians. You know, how long has it been since the Canadians, won a Stanley Cup?
93? 94, I think. Yeah, it's been a while. No, I want the Islanders. Canadians got too many of those championship crowns. You and I remember what happened to the Penguins in 75, right? They led the Islanders. They led the Islanders. And what was it, 3-0? And the Islanders came back and won 4 in a row. Ed Westfall got the game-winning goal. And then the team bus left for the airport. And guess who drove him to the airport to be with his teammates? Several of the Pittsburgh Penguins from the losing team. How about that? I love hockey players, and they love each other, except when they're on the ice, they want to kill each other. And Lola and I will always talk about it. It's the greatest thing in sports, the handshake after, a team gets eliminated in the playoffs. You know what? We need more of that. Because it's only a game, right, Legend?
Sportsmanship, you're right.
You know it's not a game because you bet on them. It's business for you. Hey, you remember this group, the Dave Clark Five?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? This song is Glad All Over. I'm going to go home and probably get stuck in traffic and not be glad all over. We'll talk to you Tuesday about the Final Four in hockey and golf, okay?
Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too, my man. See ya. Yeah, I'm glad all over. Lola's glad all over, too. You're glad I'm leaving, right, Lola? She's nodding her head, yes. Oh, hey, have fun out there. If you're driving, be careful. Watch out for the other guy, because most of the other guys aren't watching out for you. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. This hour in Cornwall, England, President Biden and the First Lady arriving for a private reception and dinner with G7 leaders and members of the royal family. It follows day one of talks. ABC's Tom Rivers with details.
We're seeing some of the usual fare common to these events, scenic photo ops for the leaders, this time along the beaches of the Cornish coast. But as British Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab says, there's also time to talk real issues.
Dealing with the forward-looking problems and challenges of the future, from keeping trade open, from building back the economies greener, stronger, getting the world vaccinated.
One U.S.-UK issue discussed, the possibility of a resumption of travel between the countries. But as Raab says, no imminent announcement. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
Federal regulators say millions of doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccine from a lab will have to be thrown out.
Regulators spent weeks investigating possible contamination at Emergent Biosolutions and determined 10 million doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccine made there can be distributed. But the FDA said several other batches are not suitable for use. The New York Times reported that could be as many as 60 million doses discarded. It's unlikely to impact supply, though, since 28 states have used less than half their allotments of J&J vaccine, leaving the Biden administration to decide what to do with another 10 million doses. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
Democrats calling for an investigation after learning the Trump Justice Department seized data of Congress members.
ABC News has confirmed former President Trump's Justice Department subpoenaed the communications data of at least 2 Democratic members of Congress and members of their family, including Congressman Adam Schiff, a vocal Trump critic who was then the top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. Sources say prosecutors under Attorney General Jeff Sessions subpoenaed Apple for the data in 2018.
ABC's Rena Roy reporting. You're listening to ABC News.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
In Israel, a major political shift may be imminent.
It took 4 inconclusive elections, 3 defections by right-wing allies, 2 years' time, and 1 major corruption scandal. All of that to push Benjamin Netanyahu to the edge of losing power. In just 2 days, it appears the once invincible titan of Israeli politics will be forced into the opposition. On Sunday, Netanyahu is slated to be ousted by a motley crew of opponents who share the aim of ending his 12 years in office and restoring a sense of national unity. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
A Missouri man behind bars for more than 40 years is still in prison, even though he's been cleared of the crime. 62-year-old Kevin Strickland, who is black, was convicted of a Kansas City triple murder in 1979 by an all-white jury.
Missouri's governor just last week announced the names of 36 people in the state being granted pardons, but Strickland wasn't on the list. The state Supreme Court has also denied a petition to free Strickland without giving a reason. More than a dozen state lawmakers are now calling on the governor to pardon Strickland.
ABC's Andrea Fujii. Amazon says employees will have work from options even after this pandemic is over. Amazon previously said it would eventually go back to its pre-pandemic office culture. Employees will be able to work remotely 2 days a week. In addition, they can work remotely 4 days for full weeks each year. This is ABC News.
Research shows people remember radio ads that remind them of the past. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's an ad that'll really take you back.
Back in my day, I heard a voice from the radio say, Liberty Mutual customizes my home insurance so I only pay for what I need. I'm getting on in years now, but heavens to Betsy, there are some things an old fella like me just never forgets.
Only pay for what you need at Liberty